Yeah, just wow, so proud of our group. We played a really complete game. I thought we played so tough. It's a really good team, and the environment was awesome, and just really proud of the way that our group stepped up and played Oregon volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of different players who stood out at different times, but a couple key moments late too, where the crowd got going with the "Let's Go Ducks," and I think 2 different times service errors. Do you feel like there was a tangible impact from the environment today?
100%. I mean, again, I think we're a pretty exciting sport, and I think our group is as good as anyone out there. On any given day, we can beat anybody. I think it's a sport and a team that should be followed and should be celebrated. And I think this is what you're going to get from them if you show up. I think we absolutely fed off the energy. I think Stanford's a really aggressive serving team. And so there's some risk reward with that, and I think the environment probably doesn't help with that for them. So that was a total Oregon win.
Sitting here now, a day ago, if I would have told you that you were going to come out and sweep Stanford, what would you have said?
We played really well. I mean, it was going to take our best, and I really thought this was. I mean, it was pretty close to. I mean, we just played every point. We made it really hard, I thought, for them to score, and even so, they hit 250, which is a high number. And we played that hard, I thought, on defense, and we served really tough. So I thought it would just take our best, and I thought it would take us being really fearless against them. They're a huge blocking team, and you're going to get blocked sometimes, but you just have to keep attacking their block. You cannot back down. The whole point of the preseason scheduling, how we scheduled, was to go play tough teams in tough environments and to prepare us for this moment. And so it was exciting to see us really, come out punching and never stop punching the whole way in a tough environment.
All that said, I mean, they're a program whose tradition earns the kind of respect you're giving them, but you've won to beat them 3 in a row now. You've taken 8 straight sets against them. What does that say about where your program is at?
Yeah, it means we're in the mix. I think for us, it's about consistency. Can we do this night in and night out? And I don't mean you have to execute perfect night in, night out, but can you be there with that mindset of, absolute competitor, wanting every moment, wanting every serve, wanting every kill for the big put, all those things, can you be in that mindset? And I would say, we have, in the past, we've gone in and out, and so far this is the most consistent I've seen our group as far as just showing up and competing hard. And when you do that, that's tough to play against, We'll see if other people backed on first, and today they did.
State pushed you guys a lot on Wednesday, and you only have, the way the pack is set up typically with volleyball, you have maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 days to really prepare. And so knowing that, Oregon State pushed you guys and you might not have played your best, you did come out with a win. How do you feel like your team really prepared for this game today?
I mean, I think any road win in this conference is a great win. It's so hard to win on the road, especially that opening conference match against a rival. I thought we played okay. I mean, we didn't serve great against Oregon State, but I thought we played pretty well. I thought they played great. And so that was a really good challenge, and it's what we needed to prepare for this. I'm glad we got pushed. And I think it got our attention again, just reminding them, our group, like, you have to show up every night. So I think we had our focus. I know that they were really excited for this match. I know they were really excited for the students being back and having that environment. We really haven't had this in a very long time. So that was really new for a lot of the people on our team. And so I think we didn't prepare any differently other than our focus and our goals are big. And so if you mean that, then you need to show up today. And we did.
Apologies if this was already asked, but that set 2 kind of felt like 4 years in the making, where Brooke and Georgia have been on this team for such a long time. And that's a set that in 2019, 2020, you don't come back and win. But now in 2022, you do come back and you do win that set. What does the resiliency and maturity say to you?
Yeah, and the funny part is that I think it was Brooke and George's leadership that made that happen, but it wasn't their actions. It was Daly and Mimi. It was they were so tough serving back there. They got to Annalise Ferreira, right? I mean, the 3 of them back there serving crucial points. And I mean, that was a run of a handful of aces, I feel like, right there. And just, made them have to make a really tough play in a crucial moment, and they didn't. So just keeping that pressure on. And I do. It's a culmination of a lot of things, but mostly it's our individual players and how badly they want to be good right now, and they're forcing that out of each other and holding each other accountable. And I'm just happy to witness it.
Early in that second set was about the only time Stanford was able to string some things together. You guys were sat out above 70%. Is that just that focus you're talking about, just kind of top to bottom, start to end?
In the second set when they came out, it was,
That was the exception. I mean,
oh,
most of the match,
yeah.
you guys
Yeah,
really
I think we just got stuck in a rotation where we didn't make some great choices, and then they kind of got some separation right there. I think it was 4-4, 10-4 or something like that. They had a 6-point run, and that kind of made that tough to come back from, even though we did. That's it. And I think other than that, we just played point for point. And again, I thought we made it so difficult for them to score, even though they did a good job. I thought they had to make great plays to score. I don't think they got very many cheap points from us. I thought we played pretty clean. They had to make a good block. They had to make a good dig or transition. They had to make an excellent serve. You know, it was not. It was hard for them to find points. And I think that's all you can do is just try to make it as tough it is, you know, as possible on the other team, you know, to make plays. And if you just keep that pressure on, normally good things happen for you. So.
Talking to your players in fall camp when it was Oregon versus Oregon for many days before your first match, they made it evidently clear that they wanted to win a Pac-12 championship. And with a match like this where you're facing a top 5 team at home, your first chance to really make a statement, how do you feel like the players in terms of making themselves known that they are definitely like top 3 teams in the Pac-12 to come out and sweep Stanford? How do you feel like they went into the game feeling, and how are they coming out of the game feeling?
I challenged the group yesterday to make sure that everybody knew who they were after today. So kind of alluding to what you're saying, like make sure, I think I told Kiari, like make sure everybody knows who Kiari Roby is after today. Make sure Mimi, everybody knows that the best freshman in the country is on our team right now. Like make sure everybody knows that. Make sure everybody knows that Brooke is the best player in the conference. Gloria, make sure they remember your name and not Kendall Kipp's name. You know, just those challenges. And I thought they responded to that. And every response I got back from them was like, done. And that was neat. You know, it was like they didn't back down from that, and they went out and did it. So, again, can we do it consistently? That's going to be the piece moving forward. But it showed to them that they're very capable.
You mentioned Mimi, and you mentioned the other night just the key points that at key times she stepped up for you. It seems like there were times she did that today when you did need a side out, she'd get it for you in a run. But also, just the comfort level she showed against an opponent of this caliber in an environment like this. It didn't seem to me like she really looked like a freshman.
You know, it's as coaches, you always hope that you have self-motivated players, right? And so Mimi comes in before practice every day to get passing reps because she knows that that's what our team is going to need, and we're going to need her to serve, receive the ball well. And they put a ton of pressure on her, and she responded. There was only one slip up she had, I think, the whole match. And other than that, she really responded well, and they just kept coming after her. I love, as a coach, seeing someone who puts that type of effort into what they're doing, into their craft, and then they get rewarded for it. Elise Ferrer comes in to practice her serve every morning. And here she was back there when the game was on the line in the second set, and she made the serve to get us that point. You know, it's like, so you see what the fruits of their labor. And so it just shows them, like, you do this, you're going to put yourself in a good chance to be successful. So I love what Mimi's doing, and she's working for it. Nothing's coming easy. She's making it happen, and pretty neat.
And Wednesday was Reagan.
Yes.
Today you mentioned Elise and Daly coming in and making their presence felt in the service game. Colby had some nice moments too. I'm sure it feels like a delicate balancing act all the time, but do you feel like your team's kind of embracing this idea that any given night that you could be called upon and you can have an impact?
I think one of the hardest things I've had coaching so far in my career is this team with how deep we are. It's really hard because you have really great players that aren't out there. And I know that could be a really negative thing in your culture or in the locker room. And but if we can take it as a real competition, holding each other, pushing each other up, then I think you can get performances like this. And you don't know when it's going to be your night, so you just have to keep pushing, and you have to trust the process, and you have to trust your teammates. And so tonight or today, that's what that was. Can we continue to do that? I'm excited to see, but there's great responses from us.